Thank you for tuning in. Hi. Hi, my lovely people out there. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Hope nobody got upset. Hope nobody burned anything. The only mishap that happened in my house was I forgot the chestnuts to put in the stuffing. They're still sitting in the refrigerator. So that was the only thing but we had a lovely, lovely Thanksgiving and a real thankful one this year. And I hope you did too, because the people who have been listening to the show many times, they know my husband was very ill. And there were moments that I really thought, oh, I think maybe it's time to grieve. And he beat the odds with homeopathy. He is back to his old self. He is well. He is up. He looks great. He ate. I mean, he really ate a lot. Where I was saying, hey, I mean, take it easy. But he really is so, again, homeopathy to the rescue. And it's a miracle. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Uh, it is so nice to do this show on Sundays because I really can talk about the things that also happen in my life. And since now we are having more of the audience interact with us, we have more people asking questions, telling also your stories about homeopathy if you have any. It would be great. And Amnon, our producer, as always, is at the ready. He is there standing by. And Amnon, say hello to our folks out there.
Hello, folks out there. And good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. In order to participate, you can call in to 919-518-9773. Or if you want to do it with Skype, then it's Computers 2K Voice. Please, if you're listening and you're on the website, log into the chat and relay your questions or comment that way too.
Yeah, we welcome it. We love it. We want to hear from you. It makes the show so much better. And it helps you so much more. Just sitting on the sidelines and not participating, we know that can be all in life, not. You know what? Life is there to participate. Whatever you do, always participate. Don't just sit and take it in, unless it is a mathematical structure that your professor tells you somewhere where you have to listen to every word. But life in itself needs to be, it's a participation game, really. If you do not put in your 5 cents or 2 cents or 10 cents, then you are not really fully welcoming life, and you're not fully welcoming all the things that you can. And this show is a good example of that. The more you participate, the better this show will become, because I really do think that I get better by questions. I get better if you tell me questions, if you tell me what your experiences have been, if you participate in this. I am much more enthusiastic. Not that I like talking, any talk show host does it because they like talking, but it's better if we participate, all of us. And so I hope you all had a fabulous Thanksgiving, and you're going to have a great holiday season. whatever you call it, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah. I mean, by the way, this year, as you all know, Hanukkah and Christmas falls on the same day. I think that's
Yep.
really a very, very interesting. Our daughter, my husband's daughter, she married a Jewish gentleman, and not that they are Orthodox, but they do celebrate all of the holidays, as Amnon does. He is Israeli, right, Amnon?
Yeah, and I'm not Orthodox, so I'm not even conservative. But you
Yeah,
tend
there
you
you
tend
go.
to do these things because they're fun.
Yeah, and they are there to bring the families together to have eating fest. I mean, when Thanksgiving came about, like about a week or so before, like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, I said no Thanksgiving. We're going to go out to dinner. If we go at all, if we do anything, well, I'm just going to buy something ready made. I'm in no mood because my husband was still very sick. And when Thanksgiving rolled around a little, remember last Sunday, I was saying already, well, we're going to buy an organic turkey and we're going to do this. Well, this was the first Thanksgiving I cooked myself. Now, I'm a very good cook. I really am. But my husband always loved Thanksgiving dinner. He always wanted to make it himself. He wanted to make the turkey. He made the sweet potato pie. I made the gravy and I made a few little side things, but he always made that. Well, this year he said, "No, hon, I don't think I want to do that this year." Not that he didn't feel good, he just didn't want to do it. I said, "You got it, hon. I'm going to do this." And I had a ball. I had for 2 days, I was totally exhausted on Thursday evening when finally the turkey came out of the oven. But I had a great time doing it because we had friends come over. I knew it was going to be a good time. It was truly a day of thanks. And my son called, and it was just a beautiful, nice day. And I really hope that all of you had the same experience. Nothing is as bad as when you're looking forward to a holiday and then it doesn't pan out, or there are fights or whatever. Nothing is as bad as that, really. Um, in the news, we know things are moving along with the new administration. Everything is starting to come about. Um, I am sort of, like I said many times before, I'm not happy about it, but then again, I'm not really stressed out over it either because there's nothing I can do about it. We have to live the way it is presented to us. And you know what? If somebody hands you a lemon, make lemonade. It's not, it, there's nothing else to do. Um, we have in the news, if you haven't heard, Fidel Castro died. Um, I do think that even though many Cubans will disagree with me, but I do think that because I come from Germany and not from East Germany, but from West Germany, but all of my family was always in the East where there was a communist regime. And, I know I may make some enemies here, but I can tell you this: communism is not what Americans think communism is. Communism working is not the same as what Americans think it is. All said with that, if you like to have a discussion on that, we can do that at one time. If you don't, that's all right too. But that's just my viewpoint.
The
What?
problem with communism, I mean, like in Israel, there's a kibbutz,
Yeah,
And that
which is
is
a form of communism.
it is communism. Communism can be very nice, but it cannot exist in its pure form
No.
anywhere because people get greedy and the people at the
Yes,
top stuff and it's dictatorship. It's not
absolutely.
communism anymore.
Yes.
The kibbutz, it's something that when you grow up and you know that there is such thing and you go and you meet people that live there and nobody has more than another, and if there is a car, there is a car
Everybody
that belongs
eats,
to
everybody
everybody,
works.
right? And
Yes,
everybody carries their own weight and everybody has everything that they need to live by without any. I mean, if there's a luxury, then everybody has the same luxury, and it
that's right.
works, and it works.
Yes,
But
yes.
if you get to the point of a country like, look at Russia, it's not communism. It was never
It was,
communist.
yeah,
Well,
the way
you know,
Russia was,
on
it
paper,
was an oppressive
yeah,
communism
okay,
whereby they had an elite that had everything and the people had again. It was really the same thing as they had another czar,
yeah. I mean,
just
it's it
different
it
names and different things. Yeah. So that didn't work. Of course not. Yeah.
yeah. That's it.
Yeah. And like I said, we might have a political show at one point because I am a little bit, but on the other hand, you know what? Homeopathy is so much more fun.
Oh yes,
Really. And so much healthier.
so much more practical too.
Yes, yes, yes. It works. And it works.
Yep.
Always works. Now, today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about cell salts, our building blocks to balanced health. And we're going to talk about how to save some money in the holiday season. So many people, uh, they get, I mean, when I hear Black Friday, I've never ever gone to a Black Friday sale. I've never ever gone on this weekend shopping. Why? Because I really do buy only the things that I need. I don't buy things that I say, well, nice to have things uh, are great if you have the money. If you don't have the money, don't buy the nice to have. Buy only the things that you need. That's one thing to save money. If you don't need it, don't buy it. Many of the consignment stores, clothing consignment stores, have fabulous, fabulous clothes. I just bought for $5 a fun fur jacket that is so dynamite. I mean, I get compliments everywhere for it. $5. It wasn't used. It was almost brand new. You can find that in consignment stores. Utilize that. Here's another tip. Don't pay for your cable box on a monthly installment. Like every month they charge you for your cable box. Don't do that. Buy the cable box outright. It's usually just $150 or at the most $175. Just compute that over the year and all the years that you've paid 10, 15, $20 more for that stupid cable box.
That's not
How much
that
money you would save if you would buy the box outright.
that's not available in all markets.
Pardon me?
That's not available in all markets. Some places, no, you have to get it from them. You can't buy it.
Yeah, you can buy it from them. No?
No, not everywhere. That's what I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, uh, uh, well, okay.
I cannot buy it. I cannot
You can't.
have one that I own. No. You can do it
Oh,
for the internet side, like the modem and stuff, but
yeah.
for the TV, no, you have to.
You have to get their box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is really somehow illegal, isn't it?
No, I mean that if that's the way it is, and there's nobody that if the state doesn't do anything about it, that's
Yeah.
that's the norm. So
Well, maybe we should
Yeah.
be a little bit more engaged in what these companies can subject us to.
Yeah.
Maybe, right?
Yeah.
Uh, that's one thing. The other thing is um, you know, there is the little Roku. I have about it before. It's a little tiny box. It's yay big, and you can buy it for well,
About
they have some now that are $35. Comcast,
yeah.
uh, others are Roku. Then there is Net something or other. There's several companies out there. Now, what this box does is, I don't have Showtime or any of these because I refuse to pay extra money for things like that. Roku, you pay one fee up front and you connect it to your computer. It interacts with your Wi-Fi, and you can have a ton of channels, free movies. Now, if you want Netflix or Hulu, you do have to pay that extra $10 a month. But if you say, I don't even have that $10 and I don't want to pay that, and I don't really watch that much, then that is the ticket. You don't have to have, you can have from your provider the lowest amount of channels that basic channels. Every provider gives you for basic channels a different setup, and some give you only 8 channels, some give you 12 channels, some give you 5 channels. But once you have that, you can have as many as you want. There's History Channel on there. And there's also our channel on there.
Yep.
So you can watch me at any time.
There's
Anything.
there's
Yes?
only one problem with that. You have to make sure that your internet service does not have data caps. Like with Time Warner, there is no data caps. It's unlimited. But with AT&T, Uverse, and all that, they have caps. And if you're watching HD, then it uses data. When you go through the box, it doesn't affect your data. But when you're watching it through a Roku or any of the other boxes, that uses data. And that's you have to watch out for that. You just, in most cases.
Thank you. Yes, I didn't know that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's useful. But it's easy to find out. And if you are in an area where you can use it, use it. It's a way to save money monthly. I am always saying, whatever penny I can save, I don't have to earn.
Sure.
So, another thing is, since we are talking about natural health and homeopathic remedies and such, go to my website and write the website down. The website is mylife-mywill.com. And if you go into .org, there's a link to my website. There's also a link to this show here. But the new website is not completely done yet, but pretty much so. And you can send me a little email of what you wanted or what your question is, and I will answer it. Tell me what you think about the new website. It's just being done. It's going to probably be another 2 weeks or so on. I have to figure out how to put a little chat button in there, like a little chat box that pops up every time that you come, so you can ask me questions, and that will be going into my phone. And so wherever I am, if you say, for instance, I have a stuffy nose, what can I use for that? I can answer you back and say, use Kali Bish or order Kali Bish. If you want to order the professional strengths, you can order that from me, or you can go into the health food store and buy Byron, the little blue vials, and use that from there. Um, but that is going, and you can ask other any questions that you want that is related with homeopathy or natural health. So I think I'm really excited about that, and I would love to have some comments of how you like it, and so that is also a way of saving money, because every time you go to the doctor, no matter even if you have a prescription plan, um, it does cost more money than $10 or $15. Most of my remedies are between $8 and $10, so they are a lot cheaper than many of the others that are online. Not that they are less, they are more. They come from a laboratory that prides itself to sell only to professionals, really. Amnon has tried some, and they have been, every one of the remedies does what it's supposed to be doing.
Yep.
So that makes it very nice. And then you have my remedies that I made. They are pre-made. They are a compound of herbal and CBD oil and homeopathic. And there are 5 of that. There's a cream in there. And then you also have on that website that the custom blended cream that I sell for your skin, so that your skin stays nice and young looking, just like your soul and your body will stay nice and young looking. And so I'm really excited about having that website now. It makes it really very nice and easy for me to interact with you. All right. Any questions up till now?
No questions. Not yet.
No questions.
No
All
questions.
right. Let's get into the cell salts. Schuessler cell salts. They are really the building blocks to our balanced health. And Schuessler started it in 1873. When mankind was just beginning to figure out that human chemistry, we didn't really know human chemistry very well. And Dr. W.M.H. Schuessler was among the most enthusiastic biochemists. He identified 12 critical inorganic mineral compounds in human tissue, which had close ties to our illnesses. As supplements, they were insufficient. So if you take them as supplements, they're really not sufficient. But if you make them into a homeopathic remedy, and as you know, the homeopathic remedies are only minute minerals and compound in the remedy that you're taking, because they are so diluted. They are not hitting you between the eyes, but gently nudging your organism to better health. And they are probably as close to fun as any medicine that can be. In homeopathic microdoses, you don't have to worry if you have something that you don't need. And since they're made from mineral compounds already familiar to your body, they can pack potentially stimulating positive responses. So cell salts are really a very needed compounds that we need in our body. And let me tell you, my husband was so very ill because he had he had no sodium in his body. Somehow all the sodium in his body disappeared. That's why he was incoherent. He couldn't walk. He couldn't move. It was just awful. We figured out afterwards that apparently Lyme disease was the cause of that. It took up all the sodium. Also, severe dehydration. So please do drink your water. Drink your water, 8 glasses of water a day. If you are older, you may not want to drink that much. I always have my grandfather always said, water is for geese. They he didn't want to drink water either. And in the past, we didn't drink as much water because the water often was tainted. But now we do. We have good water available. We can purchase water and do drink water. Now, drinking too much water can be also detrimental because it can then leach out some of these cell salts in your body. So you do want to have 6 to 8 glasses. You're safe. You're safe. You're just really hydrating your body. And do not drink as much coffee or sodas that can leach out these cell salts. Coffee especially. 1 cup in the morning is more than enough, maybe 2 if you're really an addict, but do not drink more because coffee dehydrates. So you do want to be careful of that you don't drink too much coffee. And right now that the holiday season is up on us, many things can happen. One of the major things that is, of course, colds. But here's the thing, and I've talked about that so many times. Stress, because we have to do this and we have to do that, and this one has to have a present, and this one has to do, and we have to do shopping, and we have to do house cleaning, and we have to, especially for women is a lot of stress during the holidays. And if you have an elderly parent that you take care of, as many of my friends do have, it's a double amount of stress. So here's what you can do. You can fortify yourself. You can go online, or you can go to my website and say, I would like to have a cell salt. There's 12 cell salts that are together in a kit. You can buy them individually. A kit is really the best to buy it. I'm negotiating right now with a company that makes them, and I'm going to get the best price on the net for you, okay? So shoot me an email and say that you're interested in cell salts in a kit, and I will see that you get one for a very reasonable price, because they are not that expensive. You can buy them singly also. I know that that Whole Foods does sell them. Try not to buy the cell salts that are in a compound, okay? That means there's 2 or 3 together. Try not to do that. Try to buy them individually. The reason being is that if you have, let's say, congestion, now is the time. Now, in the right now, we have weather that is really very diverse. It's a little wet. It's not that cold. It's a little bit on the warm side. Lots of mold, lots of those things that can cause congestion. around. So if you have that, you don't want to take the cell salt for um, irritation or for nerve, because that's not what you need. You need something for congestion. And there is Kali Mur. Kali Mur. It clears up a congestion, heartburn, acidity, diarrhea, headaches, congestion in the face. You really you don't have a cold, you just have this congestion, and you really feel like um, you feel like you're almost getting a cold, but you're not. It's congestion. Take Kali Mur. Now you can get it in a 6X, and that is what in my opinion, 6X for cell salts is the best, because it's almost like a 30C. You know, it is just right in the middle, and the body takes it up the best. I have had the best results with cell salts as 6X, and with homeopathic remedy, other homeopathic remedy in 30C. Once in a while, we do need a higher potency, but then you should be really talking to a homeopath and be advised with that. But Kali Mur, you can say goodbye to your congestion. Now, if you have, for instance, sinuses, which is not really just congestion, sinuses is more so that you have this pressure right here, and when you do a little lymph drainage right down over the ears here, like this, just like this, it starts to flow. And you have dripping in the back of your throat. That is a lot of sinuses. You wake up in the morning and your eyes are almost a little swollen, and you feel like you can't breathe, and it's usually one side worse than the other. Then you take calcara sulf, and that cleans up sinuses really well. Now, I must say, the homeopathic remedy Kali Bish aroma, really works well on me, because I sleep at night with my windows open, because my cats go in and out, and my window is right by my bed. So when it's a wet, cold night, I occasionally wake up with really a congestion in my nose, usually in one side. And I always have a little vial, like one of these little vials of Kali Bish right there on my nightstand. And I just take a small dose, and I can go right back to sleep, and it clears it up, and I wake up in the morning and I'm fine. But if you wanted to think of cell salts, then calcara sulf is a good one. It's for a runny nose, irritation. It clears up a cold really well. Cell salts really work well also for children. You don't ever have to worry about giving too much. You don't have to worry about, oh, do I give it twice a day, once a day, or whatever. You give it as long as the symptom is, as long as the symptom is there. You take one dose, symptom doesn't disappear in, like, say, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, take another dose. In an hour, you still have some remedy, still congested a little, take another dose. You cannot, you really don't overdose with cell salts. When the body doesn't need it anymore, it will stop producing results. So it's one of the easiest things to do. So a little kit with cell salts, which has, by the way, all the instructions in it, okay, is really quite nice. Now, one of the things with holidays is that it really is often very, um, how shall I say it, emotional. For many people, they have had holiday, during the year and the years prior and so on. Loved ones have left. There may have been a divorce. There may have been deaths. There may have been loss. Loss. If it was an animal or a person, it's it can be very traumatic. And holidays really bring that about. I have friends that they really don't do well during the holidays because they don't listen to me. They don't take the remedy that I tell them to. And then they do take it, and then they take it once, and then they say, well, it doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work that way. Sometimes you have to take it several times. Now, there are two remedies that work really well for grief and um, worries, anxiety. One in the cell salt is Kali Phos, and the other one is Nat Mur. Nat Mur is really for people that really get very anxious. Kali Phos also. Kali Phos, let me read you what Kali Phos does. It has a restless fatigue. It has a physical weakness. It has headaches, backaches, low back pains, extends down the thigh, other pains, buzzing in the ear. It your worries keep you awake at night. You get stressed out. You can't study. You can't think. That's Kali Phos. You want to take some Kali Phos for that. Also, is hypersensitivity and nightmares. Hypersensitivity and nightmares is really a very good indication of Kali Phos. Many people have nightmares, and especially the holiday season does bring that out much more. One of the homeopathic remedies in this time of the year, if you are really very sensitive towards, let's say, a parent, you miss a parent because they have left and gone to the next world. You may want to think about Ignatia. Ignatia is the definite grieve remedy. If you're grieving for anything, really anything, one of my friends is just been served with a notice to vacate her house because she hasn't been able. She had a bad accident. First she had cancer, then she had a bad accident, and she hasn't been working for 2.5 years. Hasn't been able to pay her mortgage, and now they're evicting her. Well, you know what? She needs Ignatia first before she can start thinking about what can I do to help myself. That's a good one for Ignatia because she's grieving for that life she had before, and which is now changed and gone. If you had had an animal that that has gone to the next world, try to take a dose of Ignatia. It will help quite a bit. Okay. Any questions at this?
There's one question. So, what do you recommend at the first sign of a cold?
Aconite. Aconite. And it depends on what the sign is. Okay. If the first sign is just letharg, you're lethargic, you feel a little tiny bit of feverish, you feel a little bit of, you, you feel malaise, you feel like, oh God, I'm getting sick. Take aconite. If that does not work, now take the second sign that manifests itself. Usually the second sign is, if it's a common cold, is you start getting a runny nose, a little bit of a sore throat. Now you can take either the cell salt, which I described, which is either calcara sulf or kali myrrh, or you can take kali bish. Now, one other very good calcium. If you don't, chicken soup works too. Let me assure you, chicken soup works. I I am such a proponent of it.
Yep.
When any one of us here, my husband or I or one of my friends say, and I call them up and they go, oh, I really don't feel good, Gisa. I don't think I'm going to be able to make our lunch date. Don't worry, I'll be right over. I have chicken soup always in the freezer. And I defrost the bowl. I bring it over. I give them some calcium, depending on how bad they are. I give them the remedy. And usually in a day, they are fit as a fiddle again. And so, yeah, chicken soup really works. But it has to be made with a real chicken.
Right.
And it has to be made so that, and what I do is I boil the dickens out of a good chicken, good sized chicken, not a fryer, but a real chicken where there's fat on also. And I boil the dickens out of that. Then I take the chicken out, and now I add the vegetables and I add everything else that I want to have in there. And I cook that lightly. And then I add the deboned meat in there, and that makes the chicken soup. It's as simple as you can be. Always do put a good helping of salt in there. I mean, at least a good tablespoon of salt, depending how big this chicken is. The reason for that salt is the nut myrrh. It's a hydrating, and you do need the sodium. Also, chicken releases lysine. Now, lysine is a fabulous immune system enhancer. And you want to, in the start of the cold season, you want to have lysine in the house. And you can buy it in grains. You can buy it in a health food store. Just small bottle. Take a small, a pinch of lysine every day. You will never, ever get a cold. We here, my husband and I, we very seldom get a cold because as soon as the cold season, as soon as that season starts, we start taking lysine and our immune system stays strong. Also take an extra dose of vitamin C. Okay? And stay away from the sugar. Sugar, bad, 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 bad for you. So, yeah. Any other question?
Nope.
All right. One of the great cell salts is magnesious phos. Many people have leg cramps or foot cramps, especially when they're in bed at night. They wake up. I have that occasionally. If I don't take my magnesium in the evening, I take it. But as a supplement, it doesn't work as well. As I said to you, the cell salts are made so that they go right into your blood. And so they work so much better. Magnesia fast is an asthma antispasmodic salt. So if you have, for instance, many people, especially in the winter time, all of a sudden their hand cramps up, and it takes only a second or so on, and then it uncramps. But once you have that, or in your foot or in your leg or so on, once you have that, that is a good indication that you need more magnesium, and magnesia fast is one of the best ones for that. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I said okay.
Yeah, good. Yes, do that. What else do we have? Let me see which would be a um, good one now also. Kali Solve is for those people that always have that little bit of a stuffy nose. I mean, every year the year doesn't go by that they don't have a cold. I have one friend, it seems like she takes every supplement there is. I mean, I've never seen anybody who has such a battery of supplements. And I keep saying to her, do you really need all this? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, it keeps me from it keeps me healthy. Okay, great. But every time the cold season comes around, who's sick? Oh, it's unbelievable. So what I keep telling her, take Kali Solve. Then she does, she takes it once and that's it. And she takes the other ones once. Well, everybody does whatever they think their body needs. However, I am of the opinion I only take what works. You know, I mean, if it works, I take it. If I keep if I keep getting sick, then it doesn't work. Okay. So I'm not against supplements, but take supplements that work. Vitamin D3 works in the winter time. In the summertime, you can be without it occasionally because we have enough sunlight and so on. But in the winter time, always take D3. We have found that D3 also, the missing D3, they have found people who have breast cancer, they had a low amount of D3. So make sure that you always have D3 around and that you take it at least 2-3 times a week. If you don't want to take it every day. I take it every day because it gives me energy. It does give you energy. Um, I like it for that. Kali Sulf is a restorative, and it helps for those people that get this croupy cough, this, that kind of cough. They also have often like slight vaginal irritation, skin eruption, some itchy rashes. The pains are shifting. Today my shoulder hurts, tomorrow the knee hurts, then the ankle hurts. Minor wheezy things, especially when you lie down. It's sort of like, you know, Kali Sulf. Kali Sulf is a restorative cell salt that really does the trick for people, and those people that have very restless sleep and night coughs. Some people, their whole body and their system works really well. Once they are up and around, nothing is wrong with them and nothing is. But they lie down at night and especially those that sleep with their arms over their head. Many people sleep with their arms over their head. They are also the ones that are very caring. They may end up at night with night coughs. They all night long they're going, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. They have slight headache. They have restless sleep, PMS, lots of PMS for the girls. But men get PMS too. When they get older, men have that too. They have this, but pulsatilla, and that's the remedy I'm talking about, is really a woman remedy. Uh, Not so much, I would not give that to a man as much. However, I must say, my little poodle, my little black poodle that I adore and who adores me, um, he has that. He has that little cough at night, and he has that. And I have given him pulsatilla, and it worked. Now, as you hear, you always make sure you give remedies according to the symptoms, not according to the malaise. Okay? I want to say that again. Give remedies according to the symptoms. So if you have a symptom of a night cough that is sort of like a little bit of a congestion type, a little bit of a hay fever, you're restless, that may be pulsatilla. But it could also be you have to go through the symptoms. That is why my website is going to be so useful for you, because all you do is you write down the symptoms to me, and I will tell you which remedy you need. And then you can buy it from me, or you can buy it from somebody else. So you have access to me almost 24/7. I mean, I will not answer you in the middle of the night. Very likely not.
No.
But you never know. Sometimes
There's
I'm up at night.
there's a quick question here.
Yes.
How are cell salts different from other homeopathic remedies, or are they all cell salts?
They are all homeopathic remedies. The cell salts are just that they are made from mineral compounds that
Versus
are in our biochemistry, that we have in our biochemistry. Okay?
minerals versus what?
Mineral versus, like for instance, lachesis. Lachesis is made from snake,
Okay.
from a snake poison.
Okay.
Okay? Or flour, Bach remedies. Bach remedies are made only from flower remedies.
Yeah.
They're only made from flour. Cell salts are homeopathic the same way. They are the building blocks of our own chemistry. So in reality, if you wanted to be very specific to the symptom, it would be harder to diagnose. But since if it is the wrong remedy, it just won't get you any better, then you take the next one. You can go through all 12 if you don't know, one after another. One of them, if you are deficient in one, you will find the one. Okay? Did I answer that?
I'm sure you did.
Okay. Well, if there's still a question, if do tell me if there's still a question that you need to be answered. It's not so easy to understand the distinction that the homeopathic community makes between the Bach flowers and the cell salts and then homeopathic remedies. They're all homeopathic remedies. They're made in a similar fashion, only minute. There's a mother tincture. 1 drop goes into a bottle. Then from that bottle, 99 ways, it goes another drop. Then out of that, another 99. So it keeps getting diluted. And the numbers that you see behind the remedies, always like 6C or 12C or 9C. C means hundreds. That's what it is. And if you have that, the more diluted it is, the stronger it gets. Now with cell salts, we only have 6, 12, and let me see, I think it's 6 and 12. That's as high as they go. No, 30C and 200C they also have. But I do not think that cell salts in 30C or 200Cs are as effective. My experience has been 6X is the best potency for cell salts. Okay. Anybody else with a good question? Come on, guys. No?
I don't see any. Nope.
Nope, nobody. Everybody is out shopping still. So that's okay. That's okay.
Yep.
Fine. I hope you all got some great bargains if you did. Now, we have next Sunday again, and please do visit the website. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm not saying, I just want to have your opinion and say, you like the website? Do you like the setup? By next week, by the time we talk next week, there will be a lot more on the website, and there will be continuously a change on it, and you can get in touch with me right then and there. So the website is mylife-mywill.com or .org, either one. If you go to the .org, there's a link to the .com. So it's up to you. Take life in your hands, shake it, form it, do what you need to do with it, and live happily and be engaged and really help yourself. Helping yourself is the best way to live. You have a fantastic week and a great Sunday. The sun is shining here. I'm going to be outside in a little while, and it was a pleasure being in your living room again, as it was nice having you in mine. Bye for now.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section on nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Atomos.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.